If you like what we do here on Skiba News Nation, please like and subscribe, and also share with others so we can grow the biggest truth-seeking community on the internet. Huge shout out to all of our Patreons out there. If you like bonus content, you want some extra Skiba News Nation stuff, please go to patreon.com/Skiba News Nation.
Welcome to Skiba News Nation, bringing you unfiltered views, news, interviews, discussions, and more. And now, here's your host, Jeremiah Skiba, award-winning musician and son of Rob Skiba.
With the son of the legendary Rob Skiba, Jeremiah Skiba, what's up?
With my great and insightful co-host, Mr. Jake Graham.
Dude, someone should do conspiracy news. It would be 10 times better than what you see on television.
It's like I don't even want to wake up.
He's on a quest for truth.
Hey, Skiba News Nation family. Welcome to episode 157 of Skiba News Nation, your weekly source of the latest news and conspiracies and all that other stuff. Here's my co-host, Jake Graham. Welcome, Jake.
Hey, what's up, Jeremiah? I hear you have a big trip coming up.
Yep, we're going to sold out. It will be Sam Tripoli's 1000th episode, and it's a sold out show at the Comedy Mothership here in Austin. So it'll be a pretty busy day for us tomorrow. Some of the people that will be there are like some of the people like my dad always wanted to like interview or like just talk with, you know? So we got us into conspiracies.
Man. Well, you guys have fun kicking it over there at the 1000th episode hangout at the Comedy Mothership. That's pretty cool. Pretty sweet.
Man, if you were closer, we'd bring you.
Oh, yeah. You know I'd be there. But I have a very important date planned with my family at a very big zoo. So I'm just all right. I'm just all right, and I'm doing my thing. You guys have fun. We will too.
All righty.
All right. You ready to get into the news?
Let's do it, man.
All right. Here we go.
Grant is on the way for Skiba News Nation. He brings the situation. Morning papers in his hand. He knows the whole white land. From the city to the hill, he tells you what is real.
All right, guys. So we just covered in this past live stream Sunday at 7 p.m. We'll be there again this week coming up. But if you guys missed it, the UFC event on the White House lawn, as well as the death of Oliver Tree and the helicopter crash that happened in South America, very interesting things. But lo and behold, on the heels of these big headliner events and things that we covered in our live stream, more things have surfaced. Let's start with the terror drone attack that has supposedly been unveiled and foiled by the FBI. And some comments from good old AJ himself.
Explosive packed drones hitting buildings near the event, forcing a mass evacuation and steering crowds towards a pre-staged sniper team. A second wave was then planned to storm the White House gate. The FBI first learned of the threat last Wednesday and worked with law enforcement across multiple states to stop it. Joining us now on the phone, former FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino. Dan, thank you for getting on the air with us. What else can you tell us? This is quite a frightening and sobering discovery.
Well, notice the Class warfare language amongst the plotters there that appears in this early stage.
The Secret Service spoke about this at an unrelated event.
This is still an active, ongoing investigation. Just because we're done with Freedom 250 or that particular event doesn't mean we're going to stop. There are still suspects at large, and we're going to work it until everyone's been identified. I'd say it was unique due to the numbers involved, the level of planning involved. It was an active plot, yes, involving purported claim to be plan to use drones, snipers, etc. We've seen a significant increase in threat cases. We're up 40% this year in threat cases.
David Spun is live in Washington. New images just unsealed. David, what did you find?
Well, Kaylee, this is a story that deals with many different suspects in many different states. And we're learning, looking through these documents, that a mother in Ohio had the courage to call authorities on her 19-year-old, and she expressed some concern, and she may have blown this entire case open. His name is 19-year-old Tyson Proper, and he was picked up after
his name is 19-year-old
on June 10th, just a few days ago. This was 4 days before the UFC fight.
Tyson
We want to show
Proper.
some images. The first image, I believe, that we're going to show is a rifle that belonged to her son, according to authorities. The other is a screen grab, several screen grabs showing aerial images and maps of the Washington, D.C. area and discussing where snipers possibly would be related to the White House. This is all evidence that is posted on an official court docket right now, an official government document.
Okay, so right on time, and I said this last.
Okay, so we have these mainstream news media clips, of course, you know, talking about the plot, talking about how it was foiled, talking about how the mom ratted her son out, and oh, lo and behold, it was a big
it
drone.
sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Right, really interesting. Well, now listen to what AJ says. I do hope you get the chance to bump into him tomorrow. That'd be pretty sweet. But
Well, Birdie told me maybe.
I wanted to tack this onto the mainstream clips because it gives more perspective on how these kind of false flags or possible real, terror events are used to push through certain legislation. And it's the same precedents that we've talked about before, Jeremiah, which is really interesting, where it's kind of like the Hegelian dialectic, right? Problem, answer, solution, and all of them are from the same source. And it's where they allow this big scare to pop up, and then it gets them to push through whatever legislation or authorization to spy on Americans that they want to. So here's what Alex says.
Last week, they couldn't reauthorize FISA for warrantless spying on the American people, President Trump, everybody else. It's not used to keep us safe from terror. So I said last week, look for some big foiled terror plots. That's what the FBI does every time they're trying to repass or pass legislation that takes our liberties. And that's what's going on. And so we wake up this morning, why a giant plot with 20 drones to attack the White House and to drive the crowds out where their snipers were going to be waiting and killing them. And then Cobra Commander was going to come down by helicopters. And then it turns out it's a bunch of Antifa.
G.I. Joe reference?
Running their mouths, one guy talking about it with a bunch of feds on a message board. But Kash Patel broke it, and he's a hero protecting us, and we got to pass FISA. And to show that Trump isn't even read in on this, they keep him out of it. I know how it works. He's out saying today, I don't want FISA. FISA was used to spy on me. Let's get rid of it. And the American people don't want it. They were spied on. Yeah, I was spied on with it. That's declassified. For years and years and years and years and years. Of course, they didn't find anything because there is nothing. And meanwhile, his own FBI is pushing this as hard as they can. So I reached out to Kyle Seraphin this morning to get his take on it. It was exactly mine, but even more expert. But let's not forget, they staged the Whitmer kidnapping. That came out in court. It was totally staged. They had just a couple potheads that they would give money to just say they were going to kidnap the governor. And you have the feds running Jan 6 and getting caught staging that. And even the New York Times has had big headlines. The Terror Factory, 97% of terror plots were manufactured by the FBI. It doesn't mean Antifa aren't terrorists. It doesn't mean they don't go out and hit Christians over the head when they have prayer vigils in places like Seattle and Portland and Austin. It doesn't mean they wouldn't like to do all this, but a plot with 20 drones with explosives and herding everyone out to be shot by snipers and, all the rest of it. Just unbelievable garbage.
All right. So what are your thoughts, Jeremiah?
I mean, I think it's just wild. I mean, I don't know. It's just crazy that, I think it's every time it seems that Trump or somebody else is kind of telling the Israel to pretty much screw off, that they get shot. Isn't that interesting? Every time. So I think Israeli intelligence is behind it. I really do. And I don't think it was ever Iran. That's what I'm starting to believe.
Well, I'm sure as more information comes to light, we'll find out who's behind this.
I don't think we
right now
will.
they're thumbing it on
lights will.
Antifa. But we do know that a lot of these organizations were funded by larger shadow figures like Soros. He's funding these front organizations, the protesters. And so you might be onto something, Jeremiah. And I think what's significant is Alex is pointing out how this is being used to probably trump up and push through the surveillance, legislation, which is concerning. Perhaps what they wanted all along, but also perhaps what they're viewing as necessary. But here's where the road meets the rooster. It is, we used to live in a society that could be spied on, yes, perhaps through the Patriot Act and various other things that have been passed over time. But the technology to spy at the level that AI will unlock is not been reached yet. And now we're in this era of AI superstate surveillance with the ability for them to crunch the numbers.
Your mind belongs to the superstate now. But resistance is futile.
That's why them passing these acts to spy on Americans is even exponentially more dangerous, concerning, because they didn't have the dog of AI on the leash that they could sick on us. It was like a guy in an office somewhere, and there's only so many man hours during the day. And yes, I understand, just like Alex says, they were spying on me. There's nothing. There's never been anything. So, I mean, if you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear, right? Until they decide you're on the naughty list, for your thoughts, beliefs, your faith, whatever. And that's where it becomes a big deal.
Yep. Agreed.
All right. So obviously we're going to probably cover this drone terror plot more later as more information comes out. But I think it's important for us to talk about how there are the terminology that's being dropped during this terror scare is very important, which makes me want to bring up this topic, which is, I don't know if this is state-controlled media, Chinese X accounts that are just being fed to me or something, but I'm getting posts like stuff like this, like China unveils spy mosquito, while the world's military debate hypersonic missiles, suicide drones, China is demonstrating a completely different approach to developing military technologies. So it's basically a tiny bionic drone that looks like a fly. And can you see this, Jeremiah? And
Yeah,
to me,
it just pisses me off because I already hate bugs. Okay. And now you're going to spy on me with these drones that look like bugs. I'm going to smack it.
I mean, I think what to me is crazy is they could put tiny explosives in insect-like drones like this. And they, at some point, theoretically, like with the technology level where it's at, could fly thousands and hundreds of thousands of these tiny insect drones using AI to kind of, run the gambit. And there could be attacks like this in the future with drones.
That's why everybody needs a shotgun. Get a shotgun because the pellets go out and it's not just like, you're not looking for accuracy. You just shoot it. And you're bound to get like 10 of them,
This is fighting drones with and without shotgun, drone rounds, right?
POV, me getting killed by a 17-year-old.
How the f did you shoot those things?
Does anybody have any Tylenol? You want some like Advil or something, bro? So let's speak to that a little bit. Obviously, this thing's unloaded, so it's going to be cruising at a higher speed. So you're not able to do quite all those maneuvers, but orbits, that type of thing, is that possible?
Yeah, you can definitely do that. Circling your target is a very common thing that you'll see, even
an ice agent
coming out of Ukraine these days. I mean, that's how you find targets. Generally, the SOP is find it with an ISR drone, like a Mavic, or sorry, a Matrice 30T, and then go hunt or kill with one of these things. So,
well, I guess there's nothing left to do but hop in the trench and see how we do with the shotgun to start.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're in the trench. We're going to try this first with shotguns. I know there's some things you want to speak to really quickly.
Yeah, I know you guys saw in a previous video, kind of Mike and I talking about some SOPs as we're moving through a tree line. Obviously, we were highlighting cover and concealment. In this instance, it's a little bit different as we are in a simulated friendly position. So, cover and concealment and stealth isn't as much of a priority. The kind of test we're going to be showing here now is going to be, if you're in a friendly position, you have friendlies in the trench. There's nobody else.
What does that even mean?
It's op 4. And so what you kind of do, you refer to it as a submarine call. It's called in the military where, a message is relayed back and forth. So all accountability is taken throughout the trench. So I'll call out drone, or if Mike sees the drone first, he'll call out drone, and I will repeat that command back to him just to make sure that we have kind of all hands on deck, that there's a situation in the air.
Cool. Well, there's nothing like the now. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Drone.
Drone.
Look how difficult it is to shoot these drones.
Follow my gun. It's in front of my muzzle. Malfunction, or am I out? Oh, I'm out.
Wait, can everybody pause war for a second?
Nice time arrow.
Drone. There's right.
Oh, fuck.
You shoot different directions.
See, it's fucked.
Yeah,
it's so fucked.
That's so fucking hard.
Drone.
Drone. There's right.
I want to do this.
And we're dead.
And we're dead as fuck.
Okay, so we've been killed every time so far. And let's give the drone round a try. Okay, so with the drones and shotguns, very difficult. The problem is that you don't always know what rounds you're getting.
How about a
we're using
flamethrower?
birdshot in this case, and we actually did strike the drone a few times. So like we hit the battery, but it just wasn't doing enough damage. The pellets weren't damaging enough. I think you heard it hit the propellers and it kind of did that fluttering noise.
Yep.
But we weren't just able to do enough damage. And on top of that, we could see it further out, but we have a little dip here. And once it dipped down, by the time it came up on us, it was like 15 meters away. So with this, we should be able to engage it out further. And I think these are going to be much stronger in impact. And I think we'll be able to take the drone down, hopefully. And we'll see how it works. So let's go round 2 with the drone round. Do you think that, the French were like, oh, longbows made warfare gay? And then now we're here like, oh, drones.
Same. Just like you remember, like
drones make warfare gay.
By, peasants with crossbows. It's just the same shit.
Yeah, the injustice of it.
Mm-hmm. Think of the cost of all the training, all the munition, all the equipment on like a typical SF soldier, tier 2, tier 1, whatever.
Yeah.
And you think of the cost of that, like the force multiplication is so disgusting.
I'm worth a lot of money.
Yeah, I'm worth about $6.
Go.
All right, these with the specialized rounds, I guess.
Run!
It's coming.
There it goes. They got it finally. Oh man. So I had to share that, man. What are your thoughts?
I just think it's creepy. I think it's I mean, if they can pump that full of explosives, I mean, might as well just walk outside during the apocalypse,
Yeah.
We're all
I think
screwed
it's going to
anyway.
get to the point, people are going to have to come up with really cool, innovative ways to take these drones down. But I did want to
Have
show
you-
people, since drones were part of this terror attack, what would that look like on the ground if what was happening in Ukraine with these fiber optic drones was brought, into a kind of a situation here in the United States that people or civilians would have to run from.
Yeah, I mean, I heard that they were gonna make it like that the White House is like a no drone zone or something like that, where it just turns it off. Like it'll just turn off your drone. I mean, that's happened several times where people try to fly over the White House and just dies. I don't know what kind of technology that is, but pretty epic.
Radar jamming, yeah, it's definitely a thing, and that's why in Ukraine they've been using these fiber optic cable drones, where it's like this giant spool of this long glass wire that basically can go for miles and miles, and that footage of like the canopy of spider web drone filament, right? It's pretty crazy. But moving on from this, Jeremiah, this is very important because, the same day of this UFC event, Oliver Tree, famed pop star, died in a helicopter crash. And more footage is coming out, making this more of a esoterically, conspiratorially charged death than maybe your usual death of a pop
Kobe
star,
Bryant.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
all the way back to Buddy Holly dying in an aerial disaster. This is a common thing because usually fame, influence, and money get you those nice, pretty rides. And, it's a little bit more, hazardous if you catch my drift.
I don't care how much money I have in life. I will never fly a private jet or helicopter. Like, it's just retarded.
Yeah, man. My granddaddy, he left me some very important wisdom. And he said, Jake, it says in the Bible not to fly. And I'm like, what? Where does it say that? What are you talking about? And I'm like, is that why you don't fly? And he's like, yes, it says, lo, I am with you always, even to the end of the age. And I was like, oh, low. So, okay.
Yeah, so either train or automobile.
It gives you two options. All right, let's check out this little interview clip that came out of Oliver Tree talking about his family connections and possibly why he's related to this whole stage. I mean, it's just
I think the haircut killed him, honestly. I think the haircut, his Joe Exotic haircut, maybe.
Do you think? Hey, I think he's just trying to stand out. He's an artiste, and
yeah, I mean, I hate included to speak of the dead, but
I included one of my favorite clips of him trolling Logan Paul at the very end of this, so you'll like it. He's a interesting fellow.
Grandfather, he was very instrumental with telling the guys.
Telling who?
Wozniak specifically, but
Wozniak
also
and Jobs.
Steve. He said to them, look, guys, there is an entire future that's going to take place. He was the precursor. This is precursing the internet. He actually had some ideas that turned and manifested into the early onsets of the bubble.
Of the Silicon Valley bubble.
Yes, the Silicon Valley bubble that bursted in 1986. My grandfather had precursor ideas of all this shit, bro. He had literally written it out. He was literally like a Michelangelo of this shit.
So you think he had some knowledge that other people...
Well, no, I mean, I know. He actually worked closely with Satoshi.
How did he know him?
I can't speak on
All right, I don't want to...
But yeah, he was involved with the early onset of Bitcoin.
Holy crap.
Sell it to ETH, buy it back, and then flip it. And then we would send it to the guys. This money was so untraceable, no one had any idea where the show's coming from.
Or how much it's worth.
There's been a whole lot of Trump 250 coin talk circulating around this time period as well. If you guys haven't noticed the vibe in terms of financial markets and crypto, they're talking about having a $250 bill with Trump's face on it.
That's pretty cool.
And so there's also some talk that it's going to come out as a digital currency, and this is going to be the introduction of digital currency. And so for the guy who dies in a terrible possible, like, Atlantic record sacrifice, and his family, allegedly, what he's saying is connected to crypto.
Yeah, but it's like Jim Morrison. His dad was in charge of the Gulf of Tonkin. It's just amazing how so many of these musicians have ties to the government. You know what I mean?
Just coincidence.
Same with Jimi Hendrix.
A coin index. It's not that complicated.
No.
It's not fucking rocket science.
It's out
Which, by the way, on my mom's side, my grandfather worked for Lockheed Martin. And he took a lot of the stuff he worked on to the grave. And this is actually factual information.
So no one's
Just let
gonna
me speak.
All right.
He wasn't allowed to talk about the shit he was doing because it was working with alien technologies. And when I say alien, I don't mean UFO mumbo jumbo. I mean, he was working with out of this world stuff, bro.
Like alien stuff.
Precisely.
All 6 people on board died. On the passenger list was American singer and comedian Oliver Tree, although the bodies of those killed in the crash have not yet been identified. Officials said an investigation is underway to determine the cause of the collision. Tree had performed in Buenos Aires, Argentina on June 4th and later posted a video showing him in a Brazilian neighborhood.
What drink you need?
I just need my drink.
You want some Prime Hydration?
Okay, so I just wanted to include this at the end just because I showed this in one of our earlier Skiba News Nation episodes because it had just happened.
Before he was dead.
Before he was dead, and I was just laughing at interesting character.
I wonder if he was a fan of Sewer King. There's a guy named Sewer King, and I love him so much, and he's been banned from YouTube like several times, and he keeps getting his channel back. I don't know what he's doing now, but he started the slime thing, if I'm not mistaken, and so maybe he was a fan of this smaller YouTuber that was making fun and calling it slime. And Sewer King says that it makes all the children gay and stuff like that, and he always wore the the weird glasses, and you never know what he looked like. I invited him on the show, but he was like, I don't want to get your channel banned. And I was like, I appreciate that.
Yeah, man, that's really, I mean, I love a good troll like that where they're pointing out kind of he was an artist is all you can say. And also very interesting, the timing of his death, him leaving Atlantic Records to be independent, and the consistent pattern of other people that have left Atlantic also being, having things go wrong in them.
Well, I don't know if this is true, but there's a music video of him falling out of a chopper, out of a thing. I've heard several different things, but I'm not up to date with my music culture stuff.
Oh yeah,
I'm an old, I'm like a boomer trapped in a, even though I don't really like boomers. The only boomer I like is Opa, but I am a boomer at heart. And I feel like that's something a boomer would do. They'd be like, I don't like other boomers. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it's just their way they're wired culturally. I mean, each generation is kind of wired differently. And I think that's the interesting kind of layered sandwich. Yeah. Each generation is retarded differently.
That's true. Man.
Well, connecting to all of these topics, AI, surveillance state, the death of Oliver Tree and his connection, his family ties with the old tech, and also these military contractors through his mother's father or whatever. Check out this guy and what he has to say on.
And with propane, and make sure that it's actually propane and not acetylene. You can actually light it and use it as a hand warmer. This thing will stay lit up to like 5 minutes without going out. All you got to do to put it out is just put your hand over it like that. So that's number one. For the second tip, Palantir is an AI-based software corporation that stores and analyzes every single registered U.S. citizen's info, such as their name, their birthday, their address, their phone number, their driver's license, their fingerprints, their facial recognition templates that your iPhone uses, your health record, your criminal records, all of your phone numbers, all of your internet searches, all of your emails, your private networks, all of your stored photos, videos, and audio recordings, your license plate reader logs from traffic cameras, and your GPS tracking history. It's being ran by its founder, Peter Thiel, who, when asked if he thinks that the human race should survive AI superintelligence in the future, he gave this response.
You would prefer the human race to endure, right? You're hesitating.
Yeah, well,
yes?
I don't know. I would,
This is a long hesitation.
There's so many questions implicit in
Should the
this.
human race survive?
Yes.
Okay.
But
Also, after appearing on the #1 podcast in the world, The Joe Rogan Experience, Peter Thiel spent over an hour lecturing Joe Rogan on the Antichrist and how he believes it has much to do with his company. After that podcast in 2024, Joe Rogan would attend several meetings at Peter Thiel's house where he would learn more about Palantir and the Antichrist, and then in 2025 began openly supporting Palantir AI, and on his podcast stated this.
Jesus was born out of a virgin mother. What's more virgin than a computer? If Jesus does return, even if Jesus was a physical person in the past, you don't think that he could return as artificial intelligence?
Oh my God.
Artificial intelligence could absolutely return as Jesus. Not just return as Jesus, but return as Jesus with all the powers of Jesus.
Combined. Peter Thiel happened to be one of the only donors for Trump in 2016, and he paid $15 million for J.D. Vance's campaign for Congress in 2022.
Interesting.
Weird. That's really weird. 'Cause they
Well,
were like enemies at that time.
So it's all coming together, guys. You guys are going to see the kind of the orchestrated narrative that I'm trying to expose right here. This next clip leading off of that comment about JD Vance. Obviously, check out his association as the co-founder of Ambrosia.
Mammals, give it to older mammals, and they get a huge benefit. Okay. And the rich technocrats are now setting up a company called Ambrosia where they pay $8,000 for pints of blood from young people to old. Where did this come from the literature that you guys may have come across it? The parabiosis studies with mice. What did they do? They rerouted their circulatory systems from a young mouse to an old mouse and found out that the old mouse got younger. And that's where it originally began. But who do you need to know where all this stuff came from? This comes from the Methuselah Foundation. This is all the tech bros that are tied to the PayPal mafia, even some of the guys that are tied to the beginnings of Bitcoin, but clearly all the guys involved in Palantir. So they begin to know that blood's a really big part of the story. And I know that blood's a big part.
I'm sorry, just have to pause. Both of those like avenues are connected to Oliver Tree. If you think about it, he mentioned both the founders of Bitcoin and these tech bro, like early kind of alt, contractor military-esque people, right?
Yep.
So it's crazy.
Why not off them,
And it's all connected to the tech. I liked how he called them the PayPal mafia and how it's all tied to JD Vance, and JD Vance is the co-founder of this Ambrosia thing he's talking about.
That's crazy.
Part of the story for regenerating bone. So what does Epstein get from all of this collaboration with these 4 scientists from the Human Genome Project? He finds out that melanin can be made very simply in a lab from adrenochrome. And he finds out that adrenochrome also is made from POMC. POMC, as you guys know, has 11 different chemicals or peptides associated, but one of them has to be ACTH. That's tied to both cortisol and the ability to make adrenochrome. Adrenochrome is made from phenolic compound. They were trying to create adrenochrome to regenerate people. And that is why Becker gets canceled and how all this stuff is tied together.
Wow. And this is, Peter Thiel.
You know what I find weird about it? All these tech guys, they're all gay.
Oh, yeah. I guess they're going to name the AI Mary. Here, what's next? Just a couple natural event news I'm going to cycle through real quick. On the 14th, June 14th, there was a meteor streaking across the night sky in Missouri.
I love that you like all this kind of stuff. Like, I think it's so cool. I wish I saw things like that, or wish, that's crazy. Play that again.
Yeah, it's like just this green, like bright meteor. It's just, this happened on the 14th, according to the Post.
Where do you think it landed? Whatever it is.
Oh man, I know the Arizona meteor guy, and they have all sorts of different things that they collect. Oh yeah, by the way, just recently, COVID restrictions have been dropped for places like the national parks over on the West Coast, and the lines in the national parks are going bonkers for these now open tourist destinations that for a long time were very limited, and you had to get a pass to go and register on a certain day, but now check out the lines.
I'll tell you something weird about I told Lindsay that I want to go to the national parks, and she was like, "You don't even like it outside." She thought it was so weird, and I was like, "Why did I have that thought?" It's like they're putting it in our brains somehow.
Oh, we want to go and see the sights while we can before the end of the world, right? Do you guys
Happy
this
Pride?
Is AI? Is this AI?
It's gotta be, but I don't know.
Because this has been circulating everywhere.
Look at their hand. Because it's AI.
Yes.
If somebody can go back and put the video right, it was like AI just started. Like it had just started coming out, and I said they will frame people for murders. Mark my words. It will legit be more powerful than DNA evidence, and it already is.
We're seeing the snowball ball as it rolls down the hill into a bigger ball.
Ball.
Okay. Elon Musk shared this, and it's interesting because I want to show a comment he made to the people of UK. But Britain now apparently arrests more people for social media posts than China, Russia, and Turkey combined, nearly matching the rest of the top 10 countries combined.
Dude, how retarded is that for something that you post, dude?
United Kingdom, a lot of arrests for social media posts. And I wonder if it's just
stupid.
The numbers have got to be skewed because some of these other countries are like, don't have the same governmental systems. And so they probably just don't care. Like they're probably arresting you for just spitting on the street. But I know certain places like in Asia will do that. But will they arrest you for your social media activity? That's the big question. And apparently in the UK, they're really coming after people.
And that's where they have one of the biggest like illegals coming in right now. Like they're starting to rise up and like be like, no, I can post. Like how retarded is it for somebody to be arrested and go to jail for something that you post? But they don't have the freedom of speech. So
yes,
I don't know.
Absolutely. And that's what's so interesting is we have all of these protests taking place. There's uprising, there's calls for civil war, there's all of these things that are happening in UK and in Ireland. There was that beheading where a guy had his neck cut, and then there was protesting over that migrant and all the different migrant issues in Europe. But let's check out what Elon is saying to the UK.
You're in a fundamental situation here where whether you choose violence or not, violence is coming to you. You either fight back or you die. You either fight back or you die. And that's the truth.
And so that's what
I think the British public are telling the world that they're ready to fight back.
Good. Yes.
All right. I like how his shirt says, "What would Orwell think?" Because literally
awesome.
It's on the same topic of the nation that is arresting more people for their thoughts. And
it's crazy because that wasn't even in my notes to set you up for that last clip, but that's interesting. Like it's just that's all I hear about the UK now. It's like how gay and retarded it is.
And
So
of course,
if I were to go there and post something, could they arrest me for something that I post and I'm an American? Could they arrest me for a post that I did here? Like, how
I
does
need
that
to do
work?
some research on that because you do have to go through like a registration process to get your visa to go in. And so I wonder if they do some kind of vetting or checking, but I'm not sure.
So silly.
And we know who follows the UK very closely. And of course, it's Canada. And here's some remarks from the Prime Minister. And it's
the
interesting.
Caravan, I was honored to attend, and I said at that meeting that I believe that the next world order will likely be built out of Europe,
It'll be
and Canada will be
New
part
world.
of that effort.
You mean
In
the place
security,
that's
as the first non-European member to join SAFE,
forming
as
with
the
violent
President
migrants?
mentioned, under his leadership, Canada is a key member
who's
of the
leading the Trump.
coalition of willing to support Ukraine in critical minerals, working with Minister Lescure as a reliable supplier to our core European partners, working with our European partners to expand our collective strategic capabilities from energy to hardware.
Okay.
Canadians are so nice too. Like the Canadians, like me and Lindsay's best friends are Canadian. Okay. And they're the nicest people ever in the world that you'd ever meet. And like, I don't know, it's just so strange. I mean, it's so hard for them to get their US citizenship. And it's just kind of weird to me because we're so close together. So it's like, you know, you got to jump through so many hoops here if you're already here. It's weird.
Well, yeah, it's really interesting just how the American system is so polarized with all these other countries that surround it. We got Canada is all pro Europe. We got South America, Mexico, and all the drug cartel influence down there. And you know, everybody just wants everybody to play ball with them. And so that's why Canada throws their hat in the basket with the UK, is because they have such close cultural ties, because of course there's still the Canadian connection to Europe in that way.
Now, I don't know if this is true, but over there, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, please, in the comments or in the live chat, is it true that liberal is really the conservative and the conservative is really the liberal over there? I know there's a country where it's flip-flop, and it's kind of strange. Like a liberal means something different. I'm interested. So all you
leave us a
Canadian,
comment if you guys know.
all of our Canadian friends out there, thank you. Thank you for watching. I'm surprised they allow us to play in Canada.
Well, one last clip for you guys for our new segment today. This is the epitome of AI video generation. I hope you guys enjoy.
Get him, Colonel.
Go, Colonel. Go, Colonel. Finger licking good.
Have you ever seen have you seen the clip of Ronald McDonald singing the national anthem at a baseball game? And it's the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life.
No, I haven't.
It's so weird, and all the players are like, "What the hell is going on here?" Like, what?
We're taking part of an evil ritual, an ancient ritual of Ronald the Demon.
Now, which one do you prefer? Because I like the Colonel, because the Colonel himself was a good guy, and they still made it from chicken, in my opinion, back when the Colonel was alive, and Norm Macdonald was the Colonel at one point, which makes me love them more. But I eat more McDonald's, which is horrible for your body. But I don't know which one would you like. Which one would you pick? I think I know the answer.
I'm Kentucky famous. When we were growing up, because we were from Kentucky, everybody was like, "Oh, Kentucky Fried Chicken," when I told them where I was from. So I kind of like rode the Kentucky Fried Chicken fame and notoriety when I lived in the Philippines.
Dude, there's a museum in Kentucky, and I want to go to it. I think it's inside of a KFC, and it's like super cool. Like you can see like the Colonel's real things, and I think they have an animatronic Colonel Sanders, and it's crazy.
Oh, that's cool. I'd love to check that out. Yeah, that sounds pretty fun.
Yeah, I'll have to find it and send it to you. Sweet, man.
All right, that's all for this week, Jeremiah.
All right, thank you, Jake, for another great current news, as always. And now we might put an ad right here.
And a special comedy night with the headliner, Sam Tripoli. You are not alone. November 7th and November 8th, get your tickets at TRUTHERCON.com.
Okay, guys. So today Jake and I have a very special History's Mysteries, and let's just start with the special intro.
Unexplained.
So now, if you ask somebody just randomly, what was the first documented case of a UFO or an alien crash, most people would say Roswell, right? But
oh yeah,
I mean, they'd be like, Roswell, stupid. Like, are you retarded? And I'm like, no, I'm not retarded, because the first documented case was not in Roswell. It was in fact in Aurora, Texas. And so I know I talked about both Roswell and Aurora, but I went out to the alien grave, and it was so fascinating to me that I had to bring Jake out there. So for my birthday, Jake came with me, and he was down for like my birthday. It wasn't on my birthday. Was it on my birthday?
It was like the day before your birthday or something like that.
Okay. Well, this all happened April 17th, 1887 in Aurora, Texas, and it's the strangest thing I've ever heard. Mind you, while we're playing this clip, this was 5 years before the Wright brothers ever took flight. So what these people are describing is, how would they even know? Let's just get into it.
All right, guys. So before Area 51 and the Roswell crash, there was a lesser known, but probably even more important, UFO extravaganza that happened here in Texas. And Jeremiah Skiba and I are going to check it out. So
first we're going to go to City Hall in Aurora, Texas. And it happened in 1897. And I've showed you guys before, but I've never been to City Hall. And I wanted to show you guys a couple more things. Since Jake was down here with me, I wanted to bring him. And I think it'll be fun all the way around. So come along with us.
all right, so we just got here at the Aurora Cemetery. This is where the Christian burial for the supposed alien is.
Yeah, and it's super sketchy because the people around here, it's like they don't really want anything to do with you. The first time I came, there was somebody over here mowing the grass. So here's the historical marker, and I'll let Jake go ahead and read it.
All right, guys, we're here at the Aurora Cemetery. Let me just read you what the description says. The oldest known graves here dating from as early as the 1860s. And of course, we know the crash happened in 1897. Are those of the Randall and Howitt families. Finis Dudley Buchan-Cant, a Confederate veteran from Mississippi, donated 3-acre site to the newly formed Aurora Lodge, number 479. What is a lodge? Freemasons. And others in their family were buried here in an epidemic which struck the village, and hundreds of graves to the plot called spot fever by the settlers. The disease is now thought to have been a form of meningitis. This is where it gets interesting. Located in Aurora Cemetery is the gravestone of the infant Nell Burris. With its often quoted epitaph, "As I was so soon done, I don't know why I was begun." This site is also well known because of the legend that a spaceship crashed nearby in 1897, and the pilot killed in the crash was buried somewhere here at the gravesite. We're here at the Aurora Cemetery. Are you guys ready to go try to find that alien gravesite?
So ready.
Let's do it.
You could see Aurora in the distance, but I'll give you a shortcut. You go here. You know who the most visited person is?
Who?
The alien.
Of course.
I mean, I'm sure there's some family here, but you know, I mean, look how old some of these, I was reading some of these the first time. I mean, these are so old.
1884.
Like they're like breaking. Like that one over there is broken, which is kind of sad if you think about it.
Amazing.
So apparently the alien was a Confederate soldier. Just kidding. So Jake, Ned is right over here.
Oh, I see it, guys. Check this out. Walking up on it, they have a little metal spaceship.
You know, this one, it didn't look like this when I first came. It looked a lot different.
Wow. Wow. So the town's really souping it up.
And I love that they're fully embracing it, because for the longest time they didn't.
It says here, "Welcome to the Aurora Cemetery, the legend of Aurora, Texas UFO crash." Legend has it, and Aurora history records, the crash of the alien ship on April 17th, 1897. The alien pilot did not survive, and the townspeople decided to give the alien a proper Christian burial here in our cemetery in this spot.
So somewhere located here is Ned. I'll show you guys how weird it looks. It's so strange. But last time I came, there was so much, like people were leaving, like they're scraping their names on it, defacing it, but I don't think stickers deface. What do you think, Jake?
No.
I love this little model too. It's just so like cool.
Aurora alien donations, does that go to the family of this deceased alien? Is that where the donations go?
I think half of it does, but I think the other half is where we turned off and it said Aurora City Hall. So guys, don't go to the City Hall because it looks like somebody's property.
All I gotta say is more than meets the eye to this story, and it makes me wonder, you know, did they really bury the body, or did they put a placeholder and stow it away in archive?
That's what Jim Mars thought. 1897, something out of this world hit a windmill on Judge Proctor's land. Now, Judge Proctor, I believe, was a judge because it's in his name, and he put all of the alien stuff into his well for whatever reason. Well. So he did that, and then never thought of it again. But the weird thing is about this whole crash was people said that when it hit, there was an explosion. This was 5 years before the Wright brothers ever took flight. 5 years. They had never seen an aircraft in their lives. They had never seen an aircraft explosion. So it is very odd that people talk about it like that. Like it was a literal, you know, flying saucer crash or something that had gas fumes or something, because it wasn't, I mean, it just wasn't, it was an aircraft. It was an aircraft, but it made zero noise. And so a lot of people are under the impression that Roswell was the first alien story, the first alien crash story. That is untrue. This happened 50 years before Roswell, and people overlook it a lot. And nowhere, I think, Area 51 took the beings in that crash. Now, this guy, they buried him right here, which is kind of interesting. You would think with ground penetrating radar, maybe that's what the donations go to. I don't know. I'd like to look more into it, but I just think it's so weird that people just, history just wants to forget about it. And maybe it's because he's right here. 50 years before, there was one being. They described him, and it was an alien gray. I asked L.A. Marzulli what he thought about Aurora, and he said it's probably one of the most credible UFO crashes that have ever happened, because it is the first documented UFO crash. Not a lot of people know that. I mean, Roswell has eyewitness testimonies. They wrote about this in the Dallas Morning News. And that's how crazy it is to me, like, for them to actually say it and to get a Texas historical marker. That's hard to do. Nobody can just go and do that. So your UFO crashed. Maybe it was a woman. Didn't know how to drive.
Has it got this everything in frame here? Okay, guys, why is the Aurora UFO alien story so significant? Well, if it had happened in the 1950s like the Roswell event did, guess what? It probably would have been an even bigger story. Yeah, why didn't this blow up as much as Roswell? Why is this perhaps the first time you've heard about the Aurora UFO alien incident? Well, it's probably because they just had traditional printing paper information. You know, you had to go to get a newspaper to find out about it, and it was, you know, the old legend of this town, and it was before any kind of, you know, video media was being used. This is before even airplanes were flying. This is the reason
huge story, and there's a reason. You and me, to our audience, because they've seen it before. But it's. I mean,
can you imagine if they had, you know, video, you know, news crews to show up and
I mean, that would be amazing.
When this happened, it would have been a totally different scenario. But, you know, it was probably just kept in the local area in their tabloids or whatever. And some people say that they shared this story to draw in tourists to the town, but there's so many eyewitness accounts that were recorded throughout the past 50 years of people that lived.
They would either be prophetic people that knew what an airplane would eventually be if it were to crash. There's no, I mean, that's where it draws the line for me, and I think that's where it draws the line for L.A. Marzulli, is they were able to explain in detail what happened to this, like how this aircraft crashed, how it, you know, all of that is just so well documented in writing.
I think they got the shape of the UFO saucer wrong. It looked more like this, as you can see in some of the depictions of the vehicle that crashed into the tower. It wasn't your traditional circle saucer. It was more oblong, it looks like. But yeah, we had a great interview with L.A. Marzulli on this, and he, as a expert alien UFO researcher, confirmed that this is one of the most credible UFO alien stories that have happened. And, you know, who knows what's buried in the ground right beneath our feet. According to Texas laws, unless you have a next of kin, you can't dig up a grave. So this alien might remain buried for...
Who did you learn that from?
I learned that from Jeremiah, because he's the real expert.
Right. And as Jake was saying, you know, Texas state law says that you have to have the next of kin agree to have the body exhumed. How do you get the next of kin to an alien?
on the phone. They couldn't get
ET or his wife on the phone. And I mean, these are really nice gravestones, and I don't really care what side they were on, but you know, it's interesting the cemetery that they picked. Here's another historical landmark up here. Check this out. Maybe this is the one that they were like, here lies George Lawson. Maybe this is what we're missing. George Lawson Bledsoe, a carpenter and a cotton gin builder, came to Texas in 1934. So the first time I ever came, and it's very, very easy to accidentally drive on pavement. Because they don't have, I don't know, 1800s?
The real question is, are all of these individuals buried here in the Aurora Cemetery that lived in the day that this UFO crash happened? Are they holding secrets? Did they lie about this event? Were they simply trying... The question is, could all of these people that are kindred to this town, grew up here, lived during the tale that started and spurred on this legend of the Aurora alien, Ned, and the crash that hit the windmill? I mean, what secrets do they hold? We might never know, but there is a lot of evidence pointing that this could be one of the most credible UFO stories in recent history.
And so I found the coordinates to this crash, and I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know if there's anything there, but we are going to go to where Ned was crashed, or where Ned crashed.
All right, guys, let's take this adventure to the actual crash site. Ominous clouds on our way to the cemetery, guys.
You know, every time I come to Aurora, it looks like this.
Really?
Well, I've only been twice, but it's looked like crazy, like it's about to thunderstorm.
Talk about this place compared to the other one. Like you were saying, Waco feels happy, here feels...
Oh yeah, like when we went to Waco, it feels like very peaceful. This place feels like you shouldn't be there. And what's weird is, if they wanted it to be a place like Roswell, they would, you know, be making a lot more money if they had like the alien and all this stuff, but they don't, which is very odd to me. So
So what's interesting is the location that our GPS tells us is the farm of Judge Proctor, where this windmill was.
About right where that hill is.
Apparently there's a construction site here. They're doing some kind of ground removal. I'm curious if this was where the well was located as well. We're gonna have to do some further research.
That's what it says. It says that Judge Proctor's land was right here, and where that guy got the elephantitis arthritis was right here.
Very interesting that they're digging it up as what it looks like. Man, I'm so glad you got to show me this. You know, when you came out here and did your recording for a History's Mystery segment, which you guys definitely should check out. Hey, man, we didn't do it this time. We were very, you know,
that's what I'm hoping.
But anyways, yeah, kind of crazy. We're right here driving next to where the windmill apparently could have been located. And it's fascinating to me that they might be digging up
some of the stuff
that could have been thrown down into that well.
So I got the coordinates from GPT, and it says it's only 3 minutes away, so come along with us as we find where it hit. And it could be in the middle of the road. Who knows?
This is very important for our segment, I think. As of late, there have been numerous sewer slides and disappearances of UFO experts and people that have worked on this in the past 100 years. But like some modern scientists actually, we're not experts on how the machines would work, but the people that are all disappearing, and that's very suspicious. And it all comes on the heels of President Trump announcing alien disclosure is going to be coming very soon. You know, we've heard this all the way since 2019, Storm Area 51. That year, a month before the Storm Area 51 event, there was actually a massive release of declassified UAP documents. And I think it's extremely important to understand that we're in an age that would have made the conspiracy theorists of the Roswell event and all of the UFO, experts throughout the years they dreamed of this time frame that the government would come out and acknowledge UAPs, that it wasn't hot air balloons, that it was actually something unexplainable, a phenomena. It was a extraterrestrial or supernatural event. And I think that's why all of these scientists are being taken out, because they have a clearer, more empirical understanding. And as the disclosure is leaked, they want to siphon that information so that they control the narrative. That's why all the people that have allegedly worked on these UAPs, they're disappearing. And I think it's because alien disclosure is coming faster than ever, and it's going to be a controlled narrative.
I'm just saying, subscribe to our YouTube channel, because it is not cheap doing this, but we do it for you guys because we love you guys, and you're on the quest for truth with us. So I appreciate you coming along with us, and yeah, over and out, Roger Dodger. But Bradley Oates, it's just insane how his hands swelled up. Like, there's no way. And Jake and I were able to go to the actual land. I don't know how we did it with GPT and Grok. We somehow came to the direct coordinates and we found it. And what were they doing there, Jake?
They were digging up that area. It was like a big construction site, it looked like, and they were doing digging or something. And I, I wonder, what it is with that original well location. Because
now, did you feel weird there too, by the way?
Yeah, it was a bit of a strange place. I know when we walked up and visited the grave site, there were some other people visiting it. So you can see that the town was starting to gear towards propping up this tourist kind of location. But yeah, it was definitely a strange place. I mean, I had such a great time going out there and seeing the actual location. And you could tell that before, when you visited, it was like it wasn't such a big deal. But people are catching on and they're realizing that this alien thing is a great tourist attraction. Yeah. So it's really interesting to see.
Yeah, they need more merch shops like Roswell did. And the thing about Roswell is the best place to get a souvenir was Walmart. They had like Roswell stuff in Walmart, like aliens and stuff. Or what was that? Yeah, it was Roswell. That's where we were. But anyways, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I still have one more clip. You ready, Jake? I've been on your volume.
I am. Sometimes I am.
Sometimes. Well, you're going to enjoy this one. Here we go.
Some people might find some of these jokes offensive. If you are one of those people, I'm sorry that you cannot take a joke. Viewer discretion is advised.
I have very few Jewish friends, if any, but I'd like to say, won't you please help support the United Goyim College Fund? Help learn a child to eat hot dogs this year, mayonnaise and corned beef.
Can we get another actor in, please?
Howard, give me a chance, please.
Shalom Aleichem.
Go!
Aleichem.
Oh no!
Squid Game. Give it a
Shalom.
You can't manage niggas. You can't trust me. I've been working with them for 45 years. A nigga just ain't gonna do the right thing. He got an attitude about everything. Pastor Manning, he ain't for the black man. He against the black man. Then you got rap music. Damn. And it gets worse. Our youth today, you go to Daytona Beach, I don't know if y'all seen some of the videos. They even going to Ruth Chris restaurant now. They're like a bunch of monkeys.
They need Jesus.
Oh God. Black Gen Zers, somewhere between 15 and 30, they're like monkeys. They're like marauding monkeys.
Hey, he can say it because...
Turn loose on shopping malls, restaurants, running amok, knocking over things, fighting and shooting and killing.
I think he means
half
the team
naked.
takeovers.
They're like monkeys. Send their asses back to the jungle.
Hey, wait a minute. Wait.
thought you liked this one. This was my
I
favorite.
got a message for you. Oh, there it is. 203 days until Christmas. Woo-hoo! Merry Christmas. Be blessed, be kind, and remember, don't let them take your joy.
So if your children ever ask who Santa is, just show them this video and it'll scare them.
Woo-hoo!
What? I think it's a balloon.
Some people use free will to their full extreme. It's a free will world, and they just use it.
So this was a freestyle for Erica Kirk. I don't know if you've heard this, but this is
about
awesome.
Erica Kirk. Lay off of her. Say a prayer for her. Her husband's in the hearse, and it couldn't get worse for her. People trying to charge her with Charlie's murder. It's absurd. Do people even think before they say their words? And she is acting weird, but you would be too if you lost your husband of many years. It's only been a year. Check it. Maybe she's crying fake tears. I don't know. Let her do it. She's grieving from Charlie leaving. Yeah, and I don't agree with her politics, but that doesn't mean she should cease to exist like Charlie did. Yeah, she's doing a WWE entrance. If you're mad about that, you're demented. Yeah, that's what my friend said. Yeah, just forget it, man. F it.
Are Charlie. We are.
How you doing, Instagram?
Hello.
On Sunday is going to be the Israel parade, and it's very, very disappointed that the mayor Zarmandani is not joining Israel. Because I'll be very honest, the reason why the New York City mayor Zarmandani is not joining the Israel parade, because he's an anti-Semitic. That's why Zarmandani is an anti-Semite,
It's not
and
because
everybody knows it.
religion.
Everybody knows the truth.
This one I had to throw in there because it makes me so uncomfortable.
I hear the Savior say,
And I did all the zooming.
thy strength indeed is small. Child of weakness, watch and pray. Find in thee thine all in all. Jesus paid it all.
This is what I look like when I try to ventriloquist.
Never forget, everything was massage.
Hold on.
Very carefully, only Jews can do it. So I thought I'd pick on everybody here. Oh, Satan.
That looks fun.
White and nerdy. White and nerdy.
Oh, good brother. Good brother. Yeah, that's after a day at the park.
I'm telling you, dude, cats are nasty. And this is real, I think. from Apple. We did this little celebration.
That's a good unveiling.
That'll flip, man.
Cool dance move.
I can't stand
I was happy in the days of a catnip power, and heaven knows I'm miserable, meow. I was looking for a flea, and then I found a flea, and heaven knows I'm miserable, meow, in my life. Why should I spend valuable time on kittens who don't care if I live or die?
I don't mean to resort to violence, but your ass is just too dumb and you just won't stop trying to torture me and poach dragons. You're a stupid f***ing bitch and you need to be taught a lesson. You dumb motherfucker. You don't do that to nobody. I don't give a f*** what your reason or what your excuse is.
This goes
you
online.
Dumb motherfucker.
Let me know. So shout out to the main 762 for sending me this amazing cut. How many musical people in our audience, dude? That was amazing. I love being sent those clips, and you can also submit yours to submit at skibanewsnation.com. And we very much appreciate it, and we love, fan submitted stuff. So keep sending it our way, and whatever you guys want. If it happens to be the song Erica, it's a great song, I think. So
cool. All right. Well, I think
shout out Wayne.
Yeah, shout out anybody who submits anything to us, whether it's news stories or songs or just
Wayne
saying hey or questions or whatever. Yeah. Well, thanks, guys.
Cool, man. Well, that's all I got for my little segment here. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you for being here at Skiba News Nation. We'll be here on Sunday as well, and we hope to see you there. Please like, share, and subscribe, and click all the buttons and do all the things because we love you guys. And konnichiwa.
Goodbye.
If you like what we do here on Skiba News Nation, please like and subscribe, and also share with others so we can grow the biggest truth-seeking community on the internet. Huge shout out to all of our Patreons out there. If you like bonus content, you want some extra Skiba News Nation stuff, please go to patreon.com/Skiba News Nation.
Son of the legendary Ross Jeremiah Skiba.
It's like I don't even want to wake up.